What's up, guys? We're here to check out this week's skins, and we'll be starting out with the Polymer shotgun. So finally, the shotgun has got the Polymer treatment, and there's a little bit of weird clipping around the hand area there, but altogether it looks pretty nice. We're going to go ahead and rotate and take a look at it in the light. It's got a nice P there at the end, and it's got your typical red little sight at the tip, and altogether looks pretty nice. At night, the red tip does glow, so that is something that's pretty important to notice. And altogether, I always like the Polymer skin, so definitely picking this one up this week myself. This week, we got a new pair of fancy burlap. Yes, burlap, brought to us from Cunt Bucket. And yeah, it's just fancy, patchy, little kind of leathery looking burlap pants. So if you want to be early on making that fashion statement, then go ahead and pick up this skin. Now, so far I haven't been a fan of these part doors. The train part, the bus one, I'm sorry, looks the worst of all of them. The fire truck door, they all look really bad. This one actually looks really good. Doesn't just look like it's kind of like a, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it has like lots of sections to it. Like there's the, you know, kind of riveted edges, but they don't go all the way around. It actually looks like a door. It's, you know, I don't know. The other ones, they just look so out of place and kind of cartoony, where this one kind of actually fits in. So I might be actually thinking about picking this one up. I do like my different doors. It would go with the scrap metal pretty well. Next up, we've got one of the two new AKs this week. We've got the Dombringer AK from Fred, the dog. And it's a kind of like torn up, messed up looking AK. But it's got something special on the side here. So to really appreciate it, we're going to go ahead and pull it into there. And you've got this kind of Grim Reaper reaching out towards the front of the gun, and it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it altogether is a unique AK, and I like it. Next, we have the NORDIC RELIC Ioka, and it is actually really nice. It's one of those very detailed things where you can't do much with the Ioka. It's not very big, and there's not too much variation you can do to it, but Zero here definitely took full advantage of what there is there and made a pretty nice looking Ioka. Next up, we've got LeCramp with a Armageddon sap, and again with guns, they're just so much easier to see while you have them in your hand. And yeah, it's, I don't know, it's nothing special, but it also feels like something you would find in Rust. It has lots of nice details to it. It's kind of a army green color. So, you know, if you're kind of looking for a unique but not like over-the-top colored sap, this one might be for you. Brought to us by Stab this week, we've got the REGULATOR'S hoodie, and this one is far better on the details. Got lots of little stitches and tied together patches, and you got a couple of army stars on there. And altogether, it's really nice. I kind of feel like it's something you would probably see in a Fallout game or something, and it's definitely really nice here in the Rust game. Also this week from Stab, we have our newest sleeping bag, and it is the Ranger bedroll, and there you go. So you got your Army Ranger star there, and it's some buckles, and it's a kind of pieced together, but also kind of Army lookish little sleeping bag, and I like the look of it. It's pretty nice, and yeah, the yellow star might stand out, but I think it's dark enough and blotchy enough to actually, this one might hide pretty well inside of a bush. Next up from Demon, we've got the Explorer's boots, and they're just basically a pair of dark colored tan and black and gray boots. So, you know, if you're looking to make a style statement with boots and you haven't found that right color, maybe these are what you were looking for. Next up, we've got the Laboratory Room Door by Tony, and again, this is one of those ones that falls under, like, it looks good, but it also looks weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys can kind of put it into better words for me than I can. There's just something about it that just doesn't quite fit the game. I don't know if it's the colors or the smoothness or something. I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't quite seem right. It looks good, and there's detail, and it's done well. It's just something with it just doesn't look rust to me. However, I do have to say, this face mask definitely says rust to me. What is something that fits with one of the most psychotic, rage-filled, angry communities in the world that hate everything? Well, why don't you just wear someone else's face over your mask? Makes complete sense. And this one is definitely creepy. And I'd recommend maybe picking up 1 or 2 of these this week, because this seems like one that's going to be very popular and will probably be hard to come by once it's discontinued. Next up, we've got the Rabblerouser, which I know for me, for a while, was sitting on the front of the workshop page for a while, and I'm happy to see that it got in. It has this kind of like studded punk look to it that is just, I don't know, it fits really nice. I imagine some crazy guy carving a bunch of weird patterns into his AK, wrapping some electrical tape around it and making studs, tearing apart a old studded belt buckle or something and strapping it on there and decorating. And this is exactly kind of what I would envision. And you can see, I mean, it pretty much just looks like someone carved into the AK itself. I mean, you can really see that here, and with the kind of punk skull on the side of it. Definitely an awesome AK. I picked this one up myself this week. And finally, last but not least, the NOMAD MP5 brought to us by Comp Bucket. This MP5 is gorgeous. It's got like a bronze plus leather plus kind of gold look to it. You can't really appreciate it until you've held it in the right light. This thing actually looks really nice, and it kind of looks like a built MP5. It doesn't look quite like it's fresh off the press like the actual MP5 looks like itself. So definitely really cool. I love seeing all these MP5 skins. I just wish the gun was a little bit more accurate. I say that every time I talk about one of these, but really, this gun needs to be used more because it has so many great skins. But it definitely needs some balancing before the gun's worth using or crafting at all. So anyways, guys, that does it for this week. I hope this helped you check out the skins and see what they look like in game. We'll see you guys next week with those skins. Don't forget to check out my update video and leave a like on this video to show your support. As always, thanks for watching, guys.